All right. So just to kick us off, my name is Kim Coffey. I'm the team lead of the internship team here at Southern New Hampshire University, which is one of the career teams that is here with Southern New Hampshire University. So for those of you who may not already be familiar with our career services team, I wanted to just start by introducing a little bit about us, and then I'm going to let Forage take it away and share all about their wonderful platform with you all. So just to get started with a statement here for access and accommodations, your experience here is really important to us, and we do understand there's unique circumstances. So we want to make sure that we create an inclusive and accessible learning environment for everyone. So if there's any aspects of this presentation today that present any barriers to accessibility, you're welcome to notify the various departments here that are relevant for you. So feel free to note any of those emails or phone numbers that you may see. And then finally, if you're looking to connect with us, our contact information is right there. So our cocecareer@snhu.edu email is a great way to get in touch with any of our career team members. So if you're looking for any sort of support from our team, this is a lifelong benefit to both students and alumni of Southern New Hampshire University. And our phone number is listed there as well. Today's presentation is from the Forage, so their website is there as well, www.theforage.com. I know Harrison will go into a lot more detail about that in a little bit, but just wanted to share that with you all. And then there's just some other ways that you can connect with your peers and colleagues. So our student/snhuconnect.com site is a great way to get connected. And then finally, Handshake is a wonderful platform for those who aren't familiar that posts jobs and internships, and as well has a lot of other events just like this one that you can check out and join in the future. So these are just some great links to be aware of and to join. And now I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing, and I'll Harrison, our guest tonight with Forage, to take over and start sharing all of the fun information with you all tonight.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. Can everybody hear me well?
We can.
Okay, perfect. I'm Harrison. I am the head of U.S. Educational Partnerships here at Forage. I've been with the company now for just under 2 months. Before joining Forage, I was working for Year Up in a student-facing role, and that's actually where I first came across the Forage program. I'm going to share my screen and go into an overview of Forage. Let me... Okay. Can everybody see it? Cool.
We can.
Perfect. So Forage is a company that is on a mission to fix the opportunity gap through pre-skilling, through employer-produced job simulations. So we work with over 170 employer partners. Some of those are listed here, right? So it's everyone from Bloomberg to Deloitte, GE, MasterCard, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, to really create custom, unique job simulations of what it actually looks like to work at these companies. Forage is completely free. It's free for students, it's free for universities. Anyone can go onto Forage right now and register as a student and get started. The reason that it is free is that our corporate partners are actually paying Forage. One, it's a great way for them to get exposure to talent. And two, it's also a great way for them to cultivate a talent recruitment pipeline. And so these companies are actually working with Forage to use Forage as a tool to actually identify highly motivated, high intent candidates directly through our system. And so for those of you here who are interested in both exploring career pathways, but also interested in bolstering your resume, getting hands-on work experience, and also standing out to recruiters, Forage is a really great option, and it's a really great pathway to consider. So at Forage, we believe that talent is evenly distributed, but opportunities are not. And so our corporate partners are working with Forage because they know that they need to expand their outreach efforts beyond the traditional schools that they typically recruit from. What's exciting about this is that Forage is allowing any candidate to demonstrate that they're willing to put in the time to learn about specific companies and demonstrate that they have the technical skills needed to thrive on the job. So we know most students go to college to get a job, right? A lot of students say that they would benefit from more practical training. And A lot of students at the same time, this is based off of studies that we've conducted, do not have a clear understanding of what different employers actually do, right? It's one thing to want to work at a company like MasterCard or Lyft or JP Morgan, but it's another to actually know specifically, what am I actually going to be doing once I start working there? Like, what will my first month on the job look like? What type of tasks will I be assigned? And that's what Forage does. We work with hiring managers at the companies in our system to actually distill down specific examples of the type of work that you'll be doing on the job at these companies. We've got hundreds of simulations from top global employers, right? So everything from business and consulting to accounting, finance, commercial banking, investment banking, with companies like Accenture, SAP, Red Bull, Lululemon, across the board. And these are all open access. So you can go in right now, sign up as a student, and get going. You'll see the amount of time listed here. You'll see that's just suggested amount of time to take. These are asynchronous, right? And so you can take these at your own pace. So if you're going through, let's say, the JP Morgan investment banking virtual experience, and you've got to stop halfway through and you need to revisit it the following week, that is totally okay. Recruiters are not going to be evaluating how long it took you to complete the simulations. They're not even necessarily going to be evaluating the individual work that you're submitting. They're more so using this as a way and a tool to identify candidates who are willing to put in the time to learn about them and to create a more seamless recruiting process where the person going into the opportunity has a better understanding of what to expect once they start. So we know when employers are open to training before hiring, that students have an avenue to apply, to try it out before they apply. And that's what Forage is all about, right? So again, this is self-paced. There are no deadlines. This is a safe space. You have the option to be an anonymous participant. You don't have to share your contact information with the companies that you're doing the simulations for. It's completely up to you. Once you complete the simulation, and I'm going to show you all what it actually looks like from the student perspective, but once you complete a simulation, you are given a certificate as well as a template that you can use to actually cite your skills in your actual resume, right? And so we've found that students through Forage are twice as likely to receive interview offers and then 4 times as likely to get to actually get the job once going through the interview process. And a core reason for that is that, one, when you have it on your resume that you've completed a simulation for a company like JP Morgan, it's going to flag it for the recruiters. And then once you're actually in the system, and interviewing with JP Morgan, you're going to have so much more confidence and fluency talking about specific roles because you've already done the work of 5 to 7 hours of hypothetical tasks and projects that will really prepare you to hit the ground running. And for the company, if they're comparing 2 candidates and one individual has demonstrated that high intent and the other didn't, it's really going to give you a leg up in that interview process. Another key fact that we have here, 20% of JP Morgan's incoming class of 2021, so their hiring class, completed a Forge simulation. They are one of our biggest partners, and they're increasingly turning to Forge as a key source for talent. This is just some testimonials from students that have completed Forge simulations who landed jobs. You see Citi, JP Morgan, legal as well. This is our motto, right? With Forage, every student is guaranteed a chance to experience work. And that's what Forage is all about right here. Again, those are the key data points that we're mentioning. And as you can see, this is data pulled from students that have completed Forge simulations. 99% of students who've completed a simulation strongly agreed that they felt more confident applying for the role. And then 99% gained new practical skills that would be relevant to their future success at work. A core reason for that is that you are doing the actual work that would be expected of you at these companies. These are a few of our university partners. What I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly stop sharing my screen And then I'm going to jump into a demo from the actual student perspective. Before I do that, does anyone have any quick questions that I could help answer?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
So when we complete a simulation and we don't do it anonymously, like we show it, will the companies, would a recruiter reach out to us, or is this more of something we put on our resumes or our LinkedIn's instead?
Uh-oh, did Harrison freeze?
I think he's frozen.
Oh no. We'll see if we can get him back in. Yes, in the meantime, though, I can at least answer the question in the chat and confirm, like Katie said, that yes, all of these experiences are free. There you go.
I'm
You
sorry,
back?
but I got kicked off of the call.
Okay.
The question that was being asked, was it around visibility to the companies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering, like, will recruiters would it be dinged to recruiters and it would come kind of automatically to them, or would we have to put this on our resumes and put it on our LinkedIn so that it'd be more like flagged into systems when we apply to jobs?
So it's both. Recruiters are using our system on the back end to share out job opportunities and identify talent. But it's also really helpful to post on LinkedIn, share your accomplishments. You know, when you're sharing on LinkedIn, you could tag the company, you tag Forage. When they're actually reviewing applications, if you're going through, for example, to the interview stage, and they're going to search you on LinkedIn. If they see that you've posted thoughtfully about completing the simulation, that you've demonstrated that work ethic, it's going to be a great way for you to stand out.
Okay, thanks.
Of course. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Can everyone see my screen?
We can, yes.
Okay. You see welcome, Harrison?
Yep, we
Okay,
do.
perfect.
You're good.
Awesome. Great. So this is what it looks like from the student perspective. This is my portal as a student at Forage. You can see here, I've signed up for simulations with Wayfair, JP Morgan, Lyft. I haven't completed any of them, but I can sign up for as many as I'd like. Once I actually complete my simulations, I will earn my completion certificate, badge, achievements. You can explore down here any simulation, right? So say, for example, you are interested in working at Bloomberg. You can filter it by company. And so, great, client services with Bloomberg. Or say, for example, you're really interested in working at GE. Here's where you'll actually be able to see specific simulations with that company. Or maybe you want to filter it by career interest, and you're interested in exploring pathways in finance or consulting. These are all where you would actually be able to just search and select simulations. It is totally okay if you sign up for a simulation and halfway through you decide it's not for you. Honestly, that happened with me with the markets virtual experience, and that, you know, I just decided I wasn't necessarily interested in moving forward with it. But recruiters are not going to see that and view that as a downside. Really, a great purpose here is that you are finding opportunities that fit and which excite you. And so you can sign up for as many simulations as you want. You can go halfway through and decide that it's not the right fit. It's totally up to you. This is a safe space for exploring. Of course, like as you're going through and you're doing individual tasks, you want to try your best, but really treat it as a way for you to really explore and learn about what it looks like to work at these companies. So I'm going to jump in here. Let's go into JP Morgan's banking virtual experience. Okay, so this is a simulation with JP Morgan. As you can see, at any point in time, I can opt out of allowing JP Morgan to contact me. So opt in, opt out at any point in time. You'll see here at the top too that JP Morgan is actively advertising for internship opportunities at JP Morgan, right? The summer internship cycle, that recruiting cycle really begins in October. And so as you're thinking about maybe a summer internship opportunity, analyst roles opening up, this is when it's really beginning. And so here's where they're actually actively advertising. And they'll see that you're coming through Forage when you go through this link here. What you'll see here are essentially the different tasks that you'll have, right? So you are focusing on merger and acquisition targets. This is investment banking virtual experience program. This is one task. Another task is going to be target information and auction process. So you're going to perform a target company deep dive and provide a summary of this auction process. These are the core skills that you'll be using here. So you're going to do a screening. You're going to do a company analysis. Here, you're going to develop a strategic rationale for maybe why that company should be on the merger and acquisition side. Here, financial analysis, you're going to run the numbers. You are going to prepare a discounted cash flow valuation based on the forecast received. So you'll use modeling tools, and then you'll have a presentation component as well. To conclude this simulation, you'll provide an investment recommendation. And so that's actually where you'd be communicating with a virtual client. So if you were to go into this task, you will get started. This is somebody who actually works at JP Morgan. She works on this team. She's going to be giving you the task, but she's also going to be giving you insight into the type of work that she does at the company. You are given background information on all of your tasks. So you don't have to necessarily have a ton of experience before coming into the simulations in order to succeed. We give you all the background information that you need to actually complete those tasks. So some high level information given right here. Your task is specifically listed here. And then the resources that you need. So this is one of the tasks that you're reading through the transcript of a call with a Hong Kong director. And the resources that you need, the transcript, notes from the call, email template are right here. What you're going to be expected to do is complete your findings and submit them. Once you submit your work, it automatically unlocks an example answer and will move you forward to the next task. And this example answer is going to be a great way for you to actually explore and compare your skills, right? It's going to be a good way for you to see whether your work aligns with what JP Morgan is looking for. Again, the recruiters are not evaluating your individual work assignments. They're more so going to be seeing your intent as you go through our system. I'm going to show you all. So that was one simulation with JP Morgan. For those of you that might be interested in, say, marketing, we've got simulation with Wayfair, marketing analysis. So again, this is what it looks like. Here, you're going to be analyzing declining returns on advertising spent. You're going to be using data analytics skills. You're going to be addressing low conversion rates. This is a shorter simulation, so this is only around 2 to 3 hours, and they depend based off of the number of tasks included. But again, if I went into here, same format. This is Tyler, a marketing analyst at Wayfair. They're going to be giving you the specific instructions. You have the background information needed to complete the task, and then right here is your specific task. Again, all the resources that you need to complete are included here, including a glossary of terms. And once you submit your work, same thing, it will unlock an example answer for you to consider. A lot of times these tasks are subjective, right? So there's not necessarily a 100% correct way to approach it. If you're giving recommendations to your boss or if you're developing a presentation, that's subjective. The purpose of this example answer is going to be for you to see, what is an example of work that might be done at Wayfair and how do I compare to that? What I love about this is that it's a great way for you to see, like my skills actually do align with what they're looking for. I'm qualified and ready to actually apply for a role at Wayfair, where the skills that I've developed in the classroom are actually preparing me for all of the type of work that I'll be doing on the job at a company like Wayfair. So again, here you can opt in or out of allowing Wayfair to contact me. And this is a great way for any of you here who's interested in exploring these types of careers and career pathways to try out these pathways before necessarily starting. And it's also a great way for you to really get that fundamental understanding before you go into the interview process. So that way, once you're in that interview process, you can really talk very specifically about the type of work that you'll be doing on the job. So I'm going to pause there. I'm going to open up the floor to any questions that you all might have.
Harrison, there's a great question in the chat of what is the average amount of time each course takes to complete?
Sure. So what you'll see down here is the estimated amount of time. So as you can see, technical consulting with SAP, that might take 5 to 6 hours. Lululemon's marketing simulation might take 2 to 2.5 hours. This is just an estimate. You don't have to complete it within that time frame, but that is essentially what the managers at these companies would be expecting of you. I would say the average range is between 3 to 5 hours. And then there are shorter simulations. So Red Bull, 2 to 3 hours, Lululemon, Wayfair, shorter simulations as well. Any other questions? And I can't see the chat, so if there are questions being posted in the chat, you're welcome to do so as well.
I'm watching for it. I did just post the Forage website link into the chat too for anyone who might be looking for that.
Okay.
That was a great question.
And as students at Southern New Hampshire, you can simply go in, use your school email address, indicate that you're a student through Southern New Hampshire, and then from there, you can try out any of these simulations, right? You automatically get a certificate of completion once you complete the actual simulation, but all of these are completely open access. So for example, if you want to do consulting, there are simulations with BCG, Accenture, across the board, really exciting opportunities to explore here.
Harrison, there's a couple of questions in the chat. One of them is, do students receive a badge upon completion to post on their LinkedIn profiles?
Yeah, so the link, when you earn your certificate, there's a link that you are able to essentially copy and paste directly into your LinkedIn, and it will go under a certificates earned.
Awesome.
The instructions for actually doing so are shared with you once you complete the simulations.
Oh, that's great that there's instructions. Helpful. There was another question while you're on the page right there of, are there any project management opportunities?
Yeah, there are. If you look in, you can search either by key skills. On the personal development side, there are several project management. So A&Z workplace preparation, professional skills development with 2 Sigma, Bloomberg client service. I would say a lot of these simulations feature project management as a key skill that you'll be using. And so, for example, say finance, right? You're doing the investment banking. There's going to be a project management component baked directly into that. But I would really be focusing on looking through the consulting, the finance, and the personal development side for those project management simulations. Any other questions? The other thing I'll highlight here is that you'll see here help. If you get stuck with anything, or if you're having any technical issues, you can always get help over here, and that goes over to our team. And so if you're not necessarily stuck on technical problems, but if you're coming across any tech issues with a simulation, this is where you'd be able to request that support. I know it was a lot of information. What I'll say is I encourage you all to explore our platform, look through, work with your counselors at the Career Center to really think through specific simulations, or your faculty members, your professors. Think through some simulations or companies that you might be interested in working for, and give it a shot. You know, you can make yourself visible to the recruiters and use it as a tool for getting exposure and potentially landing that job out of college. But you could also make it completely anonymous. It's totally up to you. This isn't meant to be a pressure environment. It's a great way to explore. But if you want to get noticed, you certainly have that opportunity as well.
Harrison, I have a question.
Sure.
You may have already mentioned it. I apologize if you did. How did you guys compile this list of companies? Was there some kind of rating system, culture survey, things of that nature to kind of bring these companies to the forefront?
So we have a go-to-market team that essentially is conducting business development, working with these companies. We're really focusing on large global employers who have multiple divisions that they are actively hiring for, right? And so the simulations that we're showcasing, these are high demand. That's why the companies are working with us, because they're looking to actually source talent. But in terms of what our criteria is, we are constantly adding new simulations to our platform. So for example, we actually just launched a genetic science simulation with Thermo Fisher yesterday. And so that's not business, that's not tech, that is life sciences. And we are adding new platforms and new study areas as we grow as a company.
Very good.
I'm going to post my email in the chat too. If anyone has any questions, you're welcome to reach out to me. But happy to use this time too to answer any other questions.
I'll go right for it again. Do you my role. Do you think LinkedIn is like the best avenue when marketing yourself? I don't know, in this day and age. I currently have a job, but it's like, you know, if I do want to market myself appropriately and through the best avenue, you know, because it seems like everyone is on the LinkedIn thing, whether it's in the place or just in the friend space, that seems to be the go-to.
I think that yes, and so like yes to LinkedIn. I would also say thinking about those networking events, right? Like whether those are meetups, like meetup.com, or like finding out, are there actual in-person networking events if you're comfortable with that? Are there virtual networking events? I don't think it's only limited to LinkedIn.
So that's like a baseline, and then you
exactly. And a lot of companies, so for example, JP Morgan will share out networking opportunities, info sessions to people who've completed Forage simulations. And so a lot of companies will also host info sessions, hiring events, So there's other avenues beyond just LinkedIn.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Harrison, once upon a time, you shared a really awesome referencing policy with me that shares how to showcase Forage simulations on resumes and LinkedIn. I know you
Yes.
maybe don't have access to the chat, but is that something that I could share here with everyone?
Yes, you're
Okay.
certainly welcome to.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put that in the chat. I know this is a great resource to be able to showcase your Forage simulations that you've completed.
And when you complete your certificates, once you complete the simulation, it will also get added. Like you will see that on the back end. So it's an automated feature that will share a referencing policy with you once you complete the simulation. Okay, perfect. I see it there. And if there's any educators on the call, faculty, deans, Forage, we've seen really great use cases where it's embedded into the classroom. There is homework assignments or projects. It's a really great way to show directly to your students what the world of work can look like and really link what you're learning in the classroom to careers. A lot of our work is directly informed, or all of our simulations are informed by our hiring managers. And so it's fully up to date with industry trends and what companies are looking for in their talent. I'd be happy, my email's in the chat, but if you're interested in creating your own customized class page, it's free to do so as well. And so I'm always going to plug that. We've seen great use cases across the board for Forage in the classroom, outside of the classroom, completely open. Any other questions here?
I have one real fast if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this gonna, like right now, it's like the other guy was saying, like I have a job right now, but I'm not working towards my degree. And so is this going to be and that's what I'm focused on right now, is trying to do a career shift, like go from just a regular worker to actually doing something that I'm going to school for. So is this going to be the best route for me to actually make the swap? Like, is this where I should be?
I think what's helpful is if you don't know necessarily the direction, or maybe that perfect direction, it's a great way to explore that.
Awesome.
And then if you're looking to bolster your resume, and say, for example, you're looking to really just develop data analytical skills, or financial analyst skills, you can bolster it using Forage. And that it's not under work experience, it's going to be under skills and qualifications, but that's real project-based learning. And it's going to demonstrate that to recruiters.
Awesome, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A great shout out to the career team, right? Any support that you need, always reach out. I can't recommend that enough. Well, okay. If no one has any other questions, my email is posted in the chat. I appreciate all of your time. Good luck with the rest of the semester, rest of the year. And, I hope to see you on the Forage platform.
Thank you so much, Harrison, for your time today. Really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Harrison. Appreciate you being here.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.